Yo, this is Sam Sports Podcast. I am Sam Rosenberg. Today is Wednesday, June 6th, 2018. We are deep into the dog days of summer. I want to welcome everybody to the podcast. I would also like to welcome everyone who is listening via the Pulp Report YouTube channel. I'm Sam Rosenberg. Thank you very much for tuning in. You're going to get a little bit of a sports update on what's been going on in some of the football and basketball arenas, and very specifically, I'm going to be focusing on a couple of key topics that came across the city of Philadelphia over the past week, and of course, touch upon the NBA Finals. Game 3 will be tonight. First off, Philadelphia Eagles get uninvited to the White House by President Trump. So, where to start with this? Where do you want to go from this? I mean, pretty much the way it shook out is that very typically, as some of you may or may not know, every single year, the winner of the Super Bowl and the winner of the NBA Finals, and, they go to the White House and they visit the president. They have a whole little, handshake moment. It's a PR thing. They take a lot of photos, yada, yada, yada. Well, with President Trump in the White House, things have changed. The political tenor of the NBA and the NFL, certainly the anthem, kneeling during the national anthem in NFL games has become quite a thing. And the White House and politics and Donald Trump have gotten into everything and decided to make a whole hell of a thing out of it. Well, it came out this week that the Eagles were officially uninvited from the White House. President Trump gave one of those obnoxious statements where he released and said, they didn't want to stand for the anthem and they're disrespecting their country, and so we're not inviting them to the White House. Well, it comes out that actually they weren't disrespecting the anthem. It turns out that the Eagles were only going to be sending a few players. Most of the team didn't want to go because of, I guess, their differences of opinion with President Trump about, standing during the national anthem, politics in general, being a nice human being. These were all things that they didn't see eye to eye on with President Trump. So they were only going to send a few people, and they were trying to figure out the best way to do it. Team owner Jeffrey Lurie didn't really want to get the players in the middle of all of this shit. It's amazing how all of a sudden everybody is in the middle of all of this shit, because when Donald Trump's involved, he's going to make a shit show out of everything. And so when the White House got wind of the fact that they really weren't going to send anybody, he turned around and pulled a Michael Scott and said, you know what? You can't quit. You're fired. You know what? You guys don't want to come. You're uninvited. Fuck off. And so that's how it all shook out. And of course, it became a complete shit show, because then you've got the president coming out and saying one thing. You've got the Eagles coming out and saying another thing. Then you've got the White House coming back out and, doing a retort and saying they were wrong. And then you had Fox News posted a picture of Zach Ertz praying before a game and talked about how the Eagles were kneeling. And then Zach Ertz had to come out and say, no, actually, nobody on the Eagles ever kneeled during a national anthem. That was me praying, and you guys were using it falsely. Fox News had to come out and say, oh, we're sorry. It's just this whole back and forth. It's just another reflection of the division that is going on in our country, and the fact that this whole NFL policy thing, which had nothing to do with the White House visit, even though President Trump wants to make it about that. Even though the anthem has nothing to do with disrespecting the country, the flag, or the troops, it has all to do with police brutality and the fact that that police officers abuse black and brown people in this country. No, they just want to take it all away from that. And the NFL passing a policy, a one-sided policy that nobody voted on, just exacerbated the issue. You think of it what you want, but me, Sam Rosenberg, I'm going to come right out. I try not to be political. I really try not to get too much into this shit because I don't like it. I like following sports, and I don't like getting too political about it. I don't want to find out, the people's political opinions behind whether or not they can throw a football or dunk a basketball. I mean, I understand they have a platform to preach off of, and they can bring about social change on that platform. I'm just somebody, listen, I don't want to make it all about this other thing which isn't sports. And so I just am frustrated about the fact that the president, this fucking racist bully of Donald Trump, this bigoted bully who's showing the world what a joke his presidency is and how treating other people like shit, bullying people, lying, changing your story, grabbing women by the fucking pussy, and having an overall vile human being, that's the example we want to set for the country, the world, our children, is that when someone, is a terrible human being, treats people like dog shit, lies all the time, that they should be rewarded in this country. I hope somebody pisses in his morning coffee, that lying fuck. Anyway, sorry to be so vehement. If you disagree with me, you're more than welcome to email me at samsportstation@gmail.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please, bring it on. I would like to hear what you have to think about this. Can we just get back to football? Can we just get back to OTAs? God bless Doug Peterson coming out and saying, you know what, we're done. We're getting back to football. God bless all the other players of saying, you're not listening. This isn't about the president. It's not about his ego. It's not about whatever bullshit agenda he wants to make it about. Let's just get back to football. So that was the update on what happened there with Donald Trump and the Eagles. And I guess the Eagles aren't going to the White House this year. And let's see how many other teams go to the White House in the next couple of years.